So, Sugar Tits, you might have noticed I got to 10,000 subscribers, and you said I couldn't do it.
I did not, you ungrateful fat fuck. I backed you up every step of the way. I even made you sandwiches and brought you beer while you were internet wrestling all those spastics. And I did those cameos when you couldn't think of anything good to say.
Well, yeah, I suppose you did do all that.
Yeah, well, back the fuck up, homie.
All right, settle down. I appreciate your backing and your sandwiches and beer and cameos.
Well, thank you. Now I've got to go do something less gay than this.
Is that what ABS stands for? I thought it was African bumstick. Yeah, prepare to get torn apart, cunts. Shut up, cunt. All right, just fucking shut up. Gee, trannies and poofs. To this fat lesbian monster. It's not offensive, you fuckstick. It's just fucking gay.
Go fuck yourself.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 7 motherfucking teen of The Descent of Man-osphere, the series where I take you through the ways in which the Man-osphere and its utterly despicable inhabitants are trying to reverse human evolution and drag us all back into the fucking sea. Now, during the course of this series, we've had people pretending to be things that they're not. We've of course had Rouge Fee pretending not to be a rapist, rather unconvincingly. We've had Teal Deer, a man pretending to be a teal deer, and of course we've had Warcorp 666 pretending to be a human. But today we have another such example, but this time it's an Australian man pretending to be a brown bear. Of course it fucking is. I'm talking of course about today's victim, I mean subject, Bearing! Now many of you might not actually have heard about Bearing, even though he has a reasonably sized channel now, almost up to 50,000 subscribers at the time of recording. At least in part because his rise has been absolutely meteoric. He's gone from absolute obscurity to being one of the sort of celebrities of the Manosphere within the course of about 4 or 5 months, which is both incredibly impressive and incredibly depressing. But his massive success in such a short time is actually incredibly telling as to the Manosphere's love of rational argument, because Bearing doesn't really have any fucking arguments. I mean, his fucking videos are just littered with shit, as we're about to see in a video response he made to a channel called Jacked Up, which, to my enormous chagrin, wasn't actually about taking heroin, which is, you know, false advertising there. But anyway, it's actually just a perfectly nice young woman explaining stuff and doing videos on topics and things. And of course, unsurprisingly, Bearing responded to a video she did about feminism. And Jacked Up is about to join the pantheon of people I've white knighted for during the course of this series. I've of course white knighted for Lacey Green, Anita Sarkeesian, Steve Shives, and most bizarrely of all, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, I really don't run a normal channel, do I? But anyway, let's take a look at the response made by this furry fuckwit.
I am a feminist. Okay, so the minute I just said that, you had a reaction. It could have been, yes, honey. It could have been, Taylor Swift tweeted about being a feminist, so I'm a feminist. Could have been, not really 100% sure if I'm on board that train. Or it could have been, great, another raving, man-hating lesbian who hates children and Christmas and wants the world to burn.
Or it could have been,
fuck them! Fuck them up against the wall! Wear handcuffs on and crazy through all their lips! That's all you do.
Yes, that's right, he kicks off with a corrective rape joke. And the worst thing is, his arguments don't actually get any better from there.
My name is Jacqueline, and this is Jacked Up, where I talk about things that get me jacked up.
my name's Bearing, and I'm making this video because I'm bored and have already jacked off.
So I've laid out what I think are kind of the 3 most important facets of feminism. Number 1, equal opportunity. This just means that women are not going to get held back, looked over, we're not going to lose the job or not get picked for the team just because we're women. Equal opportunity means that everything that's offered and available to men is available to women as well.
And I assume that everything available to women would be available to men too, right? And are you saying that you don't have equal opportunity? Because there are equal opportunity laws in place in nearly every advanced country.
Yes, that's right, Bearing. It's absolutely that straightforward. When a law gets passed to criminalise something, that thing just stops happening. I mean, that's why we don't get any cases of murder, because it's illegal, right? Well, you know, with the paedophilia, that's illegal, so people don't go around fucking kids, do they? I think I found the flaw in your argument, mate.
I want to explore what it means to be a feminist in 2015. What are the challenges we're facing, what are we going to do to overcome them, and what we're looking at down the road. 2 is freedom of choice. It is not the feminist agenda for every woman in the world to be a billionaire, CEO, presidential candidate. Everyone should have the choice to live their life the way they think is right.
Everybody does have the choice to live their life the way they think is right. Is somebody stopping you?
If you want to go out there and be successful and have a highly paid job and do your thing, you should have the choice to pursue that. But it also means that there's no stigma for men or women who choose to be a full-time parent to their children. This also means that you can choose to sleep with whoever you want or choose to wait until love or marriage or whatever you think is right, but you have the choice to make your own decisions in your life.
Yeah, I get it.
So you get that concept, right, Bearing? Let me just get that straight, right? You understand that concept, that people shouldn't go around slut-shaming. So I presume you'd never engage in that, right?
And you're a self-righteous loudmouth slut.
And so what do you think will happen to Slutface, the one that was fighting it? Do you reckon she'll get a bad name and be...
Cheers was going to be my big finale, you fucking skank. Oh, what a fucking slut. Simply post it to Facebook or Twitter, including the hashtag #IsClementine_a_slut.
So maybe you don't get that concept at all. Dickhead.
3rd is mutual respect. So mutual is the key word here. What kind of movement would this be if we asked for respect but didn't give any back?
It'd be feminism.
So are you just going to be a sneering little prick, or do you have any actual fucking points to make? Ever? Seriously?
Respect means that gender just shouldn't play a role in how you view someone, how you treat them, or how seriously you take them. Another really important part of feminism is recognizing that different people come from different backgrounds and therefore need different things out of feminism. So if I'm a black lesbian woman...
And I'm another black lesbian woman.
So good. So that's what feminism is. Opportunity, choice, respect. And here are a bunch of things that feminism is not.
This should be good.
Well, I'm glad to see you've gone into this with an open mind.
Okay, y'all, so first of all...
People sound so backward when they say y'all. Y'all. You all.
I do have to agree with him on this point. I don't want to, I don't like to, but I sort of have to.
Feminism is not man-hating.
Look, she actually wrote y'all.
You know how misogyny is the word for hating women?
Yeah, and misandry is the word for hating men.
There's also a word for hating men.
Is there?
And it's called misandry. And misandry is not feminism.
Yeah, it's just sheer coincidence that most misandrists are feminists.
That fucking talking point from the Man-osphere has always annoyed me. You know, the concept that all the misandrists are feminist, or most of the misandrists are feminist. Because actually, the Man-osphere is fucking chock full of misandrists. Of course, there's the widespread, almost fucking universal use of terms like beta, omega, cuck, mangina, and all the rest of it, which are basically ways of trying to undermine men who've chosen to live in ways that you fucking haven't, and basically telling huge swathes of the male population that they're utter pieces of fucking shit, which, I put it to you, is a bit fucking misandrist. But even worse than that, there's the concept of the white knight, or pussy chaser, which for those who don't know is the concept that a man would only ever stick up for a woman, or fight for women's rights, or, you know, be a feminist, in order to get laid. Now, of course, at the beginning of this segment, I joked about white knighting for jacked up, okay? But I was using that term ironically. Loads of people in the manosphere don't use it ironically, though. They are literally saying that men are incapable of doing anything other than for getting laid, which if you boil that concept down basically means that they are saying men are fucking base animals, unable to think with anything but their cocks, unable to do anything but for sexual instinct, no better than the fucking monkey in the zoo mindlessly jerking himself off, which I would put to you is a fucking phenomenally, disgustingly misandrist concept. But yeah, you keep telling yourself it's the feminists that hate men.
Second thing that feminism is not is blaming men for our problems. Feminism is not really about telling individuals that they're terrible people and that they need to change their beliefs. Feminism is much bigger than that. What we really want to tackle is this institutionalized sexism. So the way that society views women and views gender.
Society doesn't view gender. Society doesn't have eyes or a brain. It's simply a word for describing many people who live in the same area.
Oh, you fucking obtuse, disingenuous fucking prick. Go fuck your ass with a cheese grater. Sideways.
Third thing that feminism is not is playing the victim. Sexual assault is an extremely damaging and affecting experience.
I agree.
Really? Because the way in which you joke about that sort of stuff in your videos would suggest very much otherwise.
And when all these emotions and feelings that you're having aren't being validated and you're getting blamed, it hurts. It's not playing the victim if you are a victim.
It is if you haven't been sexually assaulted. Have you been sexually assaulted? Or is this just like hypothetical?
What the fuck, dude? Seriously, she's clearly referring to the movement known as feminism, right? Which, by the way, encompasses many, many more people than just her. So what fucking difference does it make to the argument she's making, to the point that she is making, whether she has or has not been sexually assaulted? Seriously, does victim blaming not hurt anybody because one random person might not have been sexually assaulted? Really, is that the fucking point you're making? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Feminism is about equality, choice, and respect, and not about man-hating and blaming and scapegoating. So next time somebody asks you if you're a feminist, maybe you'll say yes.
Yeah, no, I won't.
Well, what a fucking massive surprise that is.
If you liked this video, please feel free to like and share. If you want to keep exploring feminism with me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you soon.
Feminists.
Yeah, I know. That's how he ends the fucking video. I haven't taken anything away from that outro there, right? That is literally how he chose to end the video. So basically, to sum up his critique of feminism, is to sneer, naysay, and make stupid fucking jokes. Yes, you really are a fucking intellectual powerhouse of the manosphere, B-man. But anyway, now it's time for this. Now, to be fair to Baring, he isn't the worst when it comes to the issue of rape, especially considering he's in this series alongside the likes of Roosh V, Thunderfoot, Davis Orini and the like. He really isn't the worst. I mean, he isn't what you'd call, you know, a decent human being, but he isn't the worst by a long shot. But even so, there are still some troubling aspects to his views on rape, as we're about to see in this video, which will function both as the inevitable bit about rape and another opportunity to white knight, this time for Lacey Green, who must be making her fucking millionth appearance in this series already. And something dawned on me as I was making this particular episode, was that before making this series, I didn't really give too much of a shit about Lacey Green. Like, I'd watched a few of her videos, some of them were quite good, but really, like, I'd see a Lacey Green video and think, I can take it or leave it, whatever, you know. Whereas now, having seen the kind of hatred and vitriol that she inspires in these fucking utterly reprehensible douche nozzles, I absolutely fucking love her. So anyway, let's take a quick look at this video we made entitled Lacey Green is a Moron, Women don't lie about rape because feminism. So he's immediately strawmanning her in the title of the fucking video. Brilliant.
Here's a little question. Why does everyone think that victims of rape are making it up?
Why do you think that victims of rape are making it up? You're part of everyone, aren't you?
Facetious misunderstandings are hilarious, right?
I literally do not get it.
Hey, you were exaggerating just then, weren't you? You actually meant that some people think that victims of rape are making it up. Well, I must say, Lacey, I am disappointed.
What I just said.
I never expected that a feminist would stretch the truth like that. You've always been such a class act.
Anal all over the place. That clear or milky white stuff that comes out of your vagina. Oh, the two lips that are outside your vagina. If the first thing you ever put in your butt is a penis, you're doing it wrong. To gently spread your labia or the lips to make a more appealing hole for them to put their penis in. I really love foreskin.
A class act.
Oh yes, it's so classless of her, isn't it, to mention genitals in a series she does about sexual health and sex lives and stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe she should be looking towards you, Bearing, for, cues on how to put together much more classy material.
Suck a bucket of dicks, you fuckhead. I'm not even going to argue with you. You fucking fat spastic. And the comments that I get leave me and Sugar Tits in stitches on a daily basis. That is, when she's not PMSing everywhere.
Oh, I can't believe that, Milo is such a misogynist. Like, they were just fucking homos.
You fucking spastics.
I tell you who gave me the shits with those two fucking faggots sitting behind.
We've all got the necessary tools available to be a massive faggot like you.
Men had dicks like donkeys, and she's like stallions. They came like stallions through their big donkey dicks. Her whoring in Egypt, careless like the donkey, just stallion dick. She continued her whoring through the land of Egypt. Well, men had dicks like donkeys, and she's like stallions. They came like stallions through their big donkey dicks. Her whoring in Egypt.
God jizzed in his mum's pussy.
Stay classy! And you know what my favourite bit of his classy material is? It's this bit.
There's a new documentary out which I'm dying to see called The Hunting Ground.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wait till the porno version comes out. The Cunting Ground.
And you know why that's my favourite bit? Because it's from later on in the very same fucking video. The very same video which we just saw a little clip from where he sarcastically suggested that someone else was a classy act. Yes, what an idiot.
One of the highest profile conversations has been about Bill Cosby. 35 different women have accused him of sexual violation. Close to 90 universities are also under federal investigation for failing to address sexual assault on their campuses.
And don't forget the group that are most affected by rape and sexual assault. Men.
So you think that Lacey Green doesn't ever sort of address that sort of issue, men getting raped and things? She would never mention that, right?
Male rape survivors aren't believed either, but for a different set of reasons. There's a degrading myth that men can't be raped because they're animals that always want sex. He must have wanted it, right? Wrong. The distrust and paranoia ultimately makes it harder for victims to get justice and maintains the power of rapists because they know they won't be held accountable.
Now, there are other examples of Lacey Green addressing that topic, but do you know why I showed you that particular one? Because again, like the previous bit, it was from the very same fucking video. Later on in the video, he shows that clip of her saying that. So in the video he was responding to, he knew that she addressed the issue of men getting raped. But earlier on in his response to that video, he whinges on, insinuating that she isn't going to mention that, which leaves me with two possibilities. Either he's really, really, really fucking stupid, or he's clever enough to know that his fan base are really, really fucking stupid. But either way, Bearing, fuck off, mate. You're just whining, and also, you don't give a fuck about men who get raped either. It's a typical MRA talking point, isn't it? Why don't they ever talk about men getting raped? Well, why don't you talk about it? Because you don't fucking care. Now, Bearing also has a sidekick, a female sidekick, called Sugar Tits. Yes, that's right. I mean, I don't even need to go into that, really, do I? And you were introduced to her in the very first scene of this video. She's basically just a female version of Bearing, and I get the impression that they're actually partners in real life. Not the cartoon bears, the people who voice the cartoon bears. And Sugar Tits now has her own spin-off channel, which, if she makes enough videos and she carries on doing the same sort of shit, because like I say, she's a female Bearing, basically, she'll probably get her own episode of this series. So I'll keep my powder dry on that one. So let's move on, shall we? Now, who fancies a nail polish based metaphor about the Oscars so white situation?
Hey friends!
Sup, Cheska?
So this week the 2016 Oscar nominees were announced, and I decided to do a nail tutorial inspired by the talented men and women who are vying for a shot at Hollywood's most prestigious honor.
Well, that's a bit odd, isn't it? But seeing as we're doing things that have fuck all to do with each other, I'll do a nail tutorial inspired by the top 5 NBA players in recent years.
Oh yes, people, this is happening again. Just like the Red Pill Philosophy episode, for people who watch that one, it's linked below. Whatevs. We're going to have a white dude complaining about the NBA. Of course we fucking are. Why not?
First look is inspired by the incredible women nominated for Best Director this year. I'm using clear because clearly women just aren't good directors.
Well, that reasonably explains why no women are nominated, and I must say, I think you're being very mature about this too. I kind of assumed you'd play the whole women and/or black people are oppressed card, but you seem to have actually taken ownership of an inferiority in this instance.
Twat. You are a twat, Bearing. Officially. Twat.
So this next look is inspired by the men and women honored in the Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor categories.
And the top 5 NBA players of 2016.
First, let's start with the Best Supporting Actress nominees. Rachel McAdams, Spotlight.
LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Rooney Mara, Carol.
Kevin Durant, Oklahoma Thunder.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, The Hateful Eight.
Anthony Davis, New Orleans Pelicans.
Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs.
Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors.
Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl.
James Harden, the Houston Rockets.
Who knew beige could be so diverse?
I'm thinking the same thing about black. Learn something new every day.
And the top coat is going to be the Best Actress nominees.
And I'm going to do the top 5 players for 2015.
Brie Larson, The Room.
LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Kate Blanchett, Carol.
Kevin Durant, Oklahoma Thunder.
Saoirse Ronan, Brooklyn.
Chris Paul, the LA Clippers.
Jennifer Lawrence, Joy.
Russell Westbrook, Oklahoma Thunder.
Charlotte Rampling, 45 years.
Tim Duncan, the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, I can't be fucked with your epoxy nail polish thing. Let's just get straight to the heart of the matter. Now, Cheska, or whatever the fuck your name is, the Oscars recognise and honour the best talent in the film industry. So these 5 directors that you had a whinge about before are currently considered to be the best 5 directors in the world.
But Bearing, who decided that? Did you stop to ask yourself who had decided that that was the case?
These are nominees for a fucking Academy Award, not a participation trophy. The only criteria for this award is being the best director in the world.
Except that it's actually not, is it, Bearing? It's not the only thing at all. It's not the only criteria at all, you lying prick. Right, you have to be really well fucking connected, and you have to do quite a lot of intensive campaigning behind the scenes, trying to jimmy up as many votes as you possibly can. That's how you win one of the top Oscars, okay? It's not about fucking merit by and large. Whereas the NBA, the very thing you cite, is a meritocracy. If you're good enough at basketball, you will find a roster spot somewhere. You just fucking will, okay? Because there are quantifiable ways you can judge players. You know, points, rebounds, blocks, assists, all the rest of all those statistics, right? There are intangibles, of course, and there might be some element of bias towards certain types of personalities or whatever. But the core of it is, you have to win games of basketball. That's it, right? It's not about people making race-based decisions here at all, okay? It's, are you good enough? That's all. Whereas the Oscars is decided on a sort of cultural level, by white people, for white people, by and large. Do you get what I'm pushing at here, Bearing? Really? Do you have any fucking idea what I'm trying to say here? No? Of course you fucking don't. Anyway, let's wrap this shit up, shall we? To be fair to Bearing, having done the research for this video, it wasn't anywhere near as arduous as it has been for some of the others. He did actually make me laugh on a few occasions. He can be quite funny when he's not being horrifically offensive, which is, you know, occasionally. But ultimately, as much as I'm trying to be fair to him, he's still a fucking prick. You can't get around that. He's still a prick. However occasionally pleasant and humorous as he might be, he says the most horrible fucking shit all the time, and holds truly repugnant views on a number of issues. So that really just leaves me with one thing to say. Bearing, go fuck yourself.
Driving in a Friday combi on a hippie trail full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in, fed me breakfast. She said, "Do you come from the